Welcome back, everybody. Bring guys a new YouTube video today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about skill-based matchmaking inside of Call of Duty. So a couple months ago, actually Call of Duty themselves on Twitter stated that they will be talking about skill-based matchmaking in the near future. But we didn't know when this was actually going to be talked about with Call of Duty since the recent events with Microsoft laying off 1,900 people across all the Call of Duty studios, which is absolutely insane to me. As of today, Call of Duty has officially commented on this skill-based matchmaking that everyone hates. With the launch of Modern Warfare 3 Season 1 late last year, we committed to a conversation with our community about matchmaking. Today's info is intended to kick off that dialogue and is a new beginning for what we hope will be an ongoing conversation about matchmaking, sharing our process and learning with you to answer questions and concerns we've seen within the community. This blog focuses on how much matchmaking works across multiplayer only. We will be continuing the conversation about matchmaking in other modes such as Call of Duty Warzone and rank play at a later date. For players that have heard the term but aren't familiar with what we're referring to, matchmaking is a multi-factor process to place players on teams with and against each other to compete in online games. The single biggest priority we respect to multiplayer matchmaking is delivering a fun experience to our players. But we have many years of testing and learning as part of our matchmaking process. We are continuously working to deliver the best experience possible. For that reason, we continue to test and look forward to more enhancements to come. We often see the community refer to our matchmaking system as skill-based matchmaking. Call of Duty does not consider skill, or more specifically players' performance, as a component as do most in the industry, but skill is not the dominant variable we consider and prioritize several factors to create lobbies. So on screen here is going to be a little image and it shows a bunch of bubbles around the lobby and how this is sorted out. So we have connection, we have time to match, skill/performance, platform, voice chat, input device, recent match/modes, and playlist diversity. So we have number one is connection. As the community will attest, ping is king. Connection is the most critical and heavily weighted factor in the matchmaking process. Number two is time to watch. This factor is the second most critical to the matchmaking process. We all want to spend time playing the game rather than waiting for a match to start. Number three, the following factors are also critical to the matchmaking process. Playlist diversity, the number of playlists available for players to choose from. Recent maps/modes. Considering maps you have recently played on, as well as your mode reference, edible, and quick play settings. Skill/performance. This is used to give our players a global community a wide skill range, the opportunity to have an impact in every match. Input device is controller or mouse or keyboard. Platform is a device, PC or console that you are playing on. Voice chat is enabled or disabled. Every time a player begins matchmaking in a multiplayer, for example, the process needs to work through all these factors to find other players, all of which are also being analyzed. To quickly assemble a lobby that is stable and competitive, these factors have resulted in a process that we believe it provides the best player experience and creates a stronger community for a Call of Duty worldwide. Let's get more technical on a few of these factors. Measuring and connection for matchmaking. Whether you're playing for fun or with friends or looking to climb the leaderboards, connection is the most important part of the online Call of Duty experience. Connection dictates that the speed at which the game can transfer information from every player to and from our servers. Call of Duty's matchmaking process evaluates a metric we call delta ping, which is the difference in round-trip time of the data between your best data center, almost always the one closest to you, and the data center onto which your lobby has been placed. Based on all players in a lobby, to reiterate, we always try to maximize the times we place players in the data centers that are closest to them. Call of Duty uses a client-server model to host matches where the time it takes to share information between the player, client, and the data center. A dedicated server has an impact on the overall feel of a match. The Call of Duty netcode, which we've discussed in the past, works to reduce the effect of latency, but cannot completely eliminate it. The matchmaking process seeks to reduce the overall amount of latency by prioritizing stable connections or low ping with a shortened wait time in mind. mind. Measuring time to match for matchmaking. Any form of matchmaking takes time. If the wait time in a lobby is exclusively long, players typically recycle the process by canceling out of matchmaking search and restarting it, or even quitting. This does not quicken the matchmaking process, and in fact, it can even be detrimental. For example, in the popular Modern Warfare 3 Rustment playlist consisting of Rust and Shipment in rotation, players often leave lobbies or matches early on, hoping to requeue into Shipment instead. This creates a vacant spot on a team during an early stage of the match, as the matchmaking process may prioritize backfilling that spot. This could result in players perceiving that Rust is a disproportionately selected ever shipment. Trying to cherry picked maps may have an unexpected result. Our goal is to ensure that players spend more time playing matches rather than waiting for them. Measuring skill for matchmaking. While skill is one of several factors in Call of Duty multiplayer matchmaking, we know the community wants more information about how it fits onto the process. Skill is determined based on a player's overall performance, kills, deaths, wins, losses, and more, including mode selection and recent matches as an overall metric across all multiplayer experiences. This is a fluid measurement that consistently updating and reacting to your gameplay. Skill is not only a factor in matchmaking players against appropriate enemies, but also when finding teammates. Call of Duty has historically considered players' performance among other factors as part of our matchmaking process. Our work in this area dates back in as early as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 2007. Skill is implemented across the video game industry, and we recognize that refinement is required to deliver the best possible experience for our players. With us, player performance to ensure that the disparity between the most skilled player in the lobby and the least skilled player in the lobby isn't so vast that the player feels their match is a waste of time. Our data on players' outcomes clearly indicates that the inclusion of skill in Call of Duty's multiplayer matchmaking process as it currently stands increase the variety of outcomes experienced by players while skill levels. In other words, all players, regardless of skill level, and more likely to experience wins, losses more proportionately. Our data shows that when lower skill players are consistently on the losing end, they are likely to quit matches in progress or stop playing altogether. This has an effect on the player pool. A smaller player pool means wait times for matches increase and connections may not be as strong as they should be. This can compound over time to create a disparity effect eventually when only high skilled players remain because lower skilled players have quit out of a frustration. The result is an ecosystem that is worse overall for everyone. Games data indicate that having some limitations on the disparity of skill across the players in a match makes for a healthier ecosystem. We also understand that many high skill players want more variety of experience, but often feel like they only get the sweatiest of lobbies. We have heard of this feedback clearly, and we continue to test and actively explore ways to mitigate this concern. Future communications. In addition of today's blog, our technology team is developing a ping and a matchmaking white paper for those inclined to get into the most granular information about Call of Duty's matchmaking. Stay tuned for more on this publication. To conclude, we wanted to answer some of the most frequently asked questions from the community. I pretty much went over everything inside of this video. If you guys want to see the full article, you guys can see, I will link it down in the description of this video. Hope you guys really enjoy this. You guys can comment below what you guys think about this situation, and hope you guys really enjoy this. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification to never miss a video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining.